Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to Food Chest. Hope you're doing well. So one of the things I'm always interested in is, I like to travel, especially on the continent of Africa. I think traveling in Africa is the best thing. But one of the things that hampers us, Africans from traveling within the country, it's, visa and visa-free stuff. If you watch my older contents, I have talked about, visa-free travel within the continent, and shout out to those countries on the continent that are making it visa-free, making coming to their country easier. Now, the latest ranking of like the top passports, countries who have the best passports on the country, top 10, I'm going to go out. And, I'm not surprised of the rankings, but let's just go through them. So Seychelles is ranked number 1. Mauritius is number 2. South Africa is number 3. Botswana, number 4. Namibia, number 5. Lesotho, number 6. Eswatini, number 7. Kenya, number 8. Tunisia, number 9. Malawi is number 10. All these countries are mostly in Southern Africa. That's one thing I noticed. A couple Northern African countries. There is no Western African country on the list. And you have island African countries. We all know why there are no Western African countries on the list, right? But, the countries that have made the list, shout out to them. Now, I'm always curious to what are they doing to, and before I proceed, right? Now, the question I always, what makes this country's passport rank higher? So basically, the determination is visa-free travel. So these countries have access to a lot of countries. For example, if you're from Seychelles and you have a Seychelles passport, you can travel to 156 countries for free, no visa. Sorry, not for free, but visa-free. So you don't have to spend money applying to visa. If you're from Mauritius, you 151 visa-free destinations. South Africa has 106. Botswana, 88. And just, now globally, Seychelles is ranked 25th. Of course, we know Singapore has the strongest passport globally, right? So people who are from Seychelles, they go to a lot of countries free. So it's interesting on, the countries that the passport holders who are from these countries and how many countries they can go to. Now, what do these countries do to get them to this level? To get them to the level where they can actually travel to these countries without having to apply for visa. What did they do? It's always my questions. How do these countries get this ranking? But like I always say, it is all through diplomatic negotiations, concessions, agreements, and being able to negotiate properly. It is not rocket science. Now, we have all this migration crisis going on, especially from West African countries. One of the reasons is because a lot of leaders in the government of these countries do not know how to negotiate. They lack proper diplomatic and negotiation skills. There is no way a country, let me give you an example. A country like Nigeria. Nigeria has so many things to offer. But the problem is that when diplomats or Nigerian diplomats, when they negotiate, or when people in the government, they negotiate for themselves. They don't think about the country as a whole. This is my theory. Now, I might be wrong, but I truly believe that a lot of diplomats, a lot of people in the Nigerian government, when they negotiate things, trade agreements, concessions, oil and gas things, they just think about the pockets of themselves and the people around them. They don't think about the long term. They don't think about the country. Because there's so many ways the Nigerian or Ghanaian or other West African countries can put in, hey, if you're coming to get licenses to free oil or drill or do anything, we have to put in tourism and we have to put in access. I think it's called trade in services, not just trade in goods. Within the negotiations on trade in services, you add in like, hey, visa free between our countries. This is how we want to put this. And I think it's one of the things that will control the migration crisis of most West African countries. Because if you can go somewhere visa free, and of course we also know that the economy and access to jobs and things has something to do with it, but I also think that the access also has a thing to do with it. So I think that a lot of West African countries and the leaders need to understand the power of negotiation and the power of concessions and put this into their trade deals and whatever the free agreements that they negotiate, that they put in visa-free agreements in those negotiations. And I think it will help the migration crisis as well. But man, yeah, shout out to these countries. You're doing a good job. Yeah. And let me know what you think, guys. If your country is not making it and you're still struggling to travel and you love to travel, oh my goodness, man, I feel your pain. And hopefully our leaders will understand this and begin to have visa-free negotiations within the agreements as well. But guys, always open to your comments. Until next time, this is Full Chest.